It's simple, it's beautiful, it's designed for podcasters. The Focusrite Vocaster. At Podcast Movement 2022, I'm Daniel J. Lewis from the Audacity to Podcast.com with Dan Hughley from Focusrite. And Dan, tell me about this new Vocaster.
It's a great audio interface. We had the audacity, if I can, to create an audio interface for podcasters with the podcast workflow in mind.
I've always loved the Scarlett interfaces. They've been fantastic, the best interfaces that I've always recommended for podcasters who need that simple setup and don't need all of these bells and whistles, but just something that works. Now this is even better. Why?
Because from the Scarlett was always a music product that worked great for podcasters, but it had things that podcasters don't need, and then it had other things that were missing for podcasters. So we kept a lot of that in mind, and we created Vocaster. So some of the differences would be Scarlett 2i2, which is the most popular audio interface in the world. It has 2 microphone inputs, but only 1 headphone output. So that's a problem when you have an interview podcast. And we resolved that with the Vocaster 2. It has 2 headphone outputs, and it has 2 mic inputs.
Fantastic. And that means fewer things you have to add, connect to it. What else can we expect that's designed for podcasters and makes the podcasting process easier?
Sure. Features like auto gain, which is something that we created ourselves. I know other people do it as well. We didn't copy anybody. We started from scratch and did that. So you push a button and talk into the microphone for about 10 seconds, and it actually sets the optimal gain level for recording for you. So you don't have to think about gain. Podcasters don't need to be audio engineers. They're storytellers. So we want you to be able to tell your story as quickly as possible.
So this is an interface designed for interfacing with the computer. What else could it interface with?
Sure, great question. Thank you for that. With a camera. You can plug it into your camera. It has a camera output on the back, just a little 3.5 millimeter line output. Goes into your camera, records and syncs directly with your video as well. And it's also a line out, so it can go to any line in device. I've connected it to handheld recorders, so you can record to your computer and as a backup to the recorder as well. Some other cool features are the 3.5 millimeter TRRS connection for a telephone. So you can plug in your iPhone or any phone that you want, and you can take phone calls. And since it's a TRRS, it's two-way communication, which means you can also take your computer audio to your apps. So if you want to go on TikTok, or if you want to go on Instagram Live or something like that, you can use all your computer audio for that very easily.
So what if I don't have a TRRS connection cable?
Sure. Vocaster 2 has the Bluetooth feature, which does the exact same thing. You just have to pair it with your phone really quickly, and then you're off and running doing the same thing.
Fantastic. So you can interface with your computer. What if I want to play the sound effects from my computer while I'm recording into my computer?
Yeah, no problem. These are great questions. It's almost like you tried one of these before. Loopback, it's amazing. There's 2 stereo channels of loopback on both Vocasters. So yeah, you could take something from, say, Spotify or YouTube or both at the same time, and bring it back into your software. And all of this is available on its own track as well. So in your DAW, whatever software you're using, every one of these can be individually mixed and edited.
And that's something else that this does better for podcasters than the Scarlett line does.
Right, it just has more channels available, just a lot of different inputs and a lot of different channels. It's actually a mixer inside here. It doesn't look like a mixer, but the software is where the software controls the mix for you.
So you can adjust your input volume, you can adjust your headphone volume. It looks beautiful, it's nice, it's compact. What are the primary differences between the Vocaster 1 and the Vocaster 2?
There's really only 2 differences. 3 technically. The 1 mic input on the Vocaster 1 and 1 headphone output on the Vocaster 1. The only other difference is Vocaster 2 has 2 inputs, 2 outputs, but also the addition of the Bluetooth. Okay. So you can have the TRRS for your phone calls, or you can have Bluetooth, or both.
Okay. What are the retail prices for these?
They retail between $199 and $499, depending on what you need. Vocaster 1 is $199, Vocaster 2 is $299, and then we have studio bundles, which include mics and headphones as well.
And now, the preamps in these are fantastic. You know Scarlett interfaces for their great preamps, so whatever microphone you have will work on this. It's great quality.
Did we mention it has 70 dB of gain? So no more need for a gain booster. Yeah, it's just like the Scarlett mic pre, but has more gain, so you don't have to worry about needing an extra product in your signal chain.
Fantastic. It's small, it's portable. You could probably even connect this with an iPhone or an iPad through a digital connection or analog connection. So lots of abilities with this, and I love how compact it is, how simple it is. Instead of overcomplicating things, you're keeping it simple and easy to use and still high quality. So I love what you've made here. Learn more about this. I'll have the links below this video, and also you can go to theaudacitytopodcast.com/PM22. For Dan Hughley from Focusrite, I'm Daniel J. Lewis from theaudacitytopodcast.com. Thanks for watching.